Chuck Dade.
Hi, I'm Chuck Dade. I'm a citizen of the area for most of my life, for a couple of years in Southwest and 3 years in the Army. Anything for wind power and environmental stuff is certainly behind. People know, if they know me, know I've been advocating for that kind of stuff for quite some time. So I certainly will want whatever mechanisms that make that happen. I do think perhaps there needs to be a little bit of tweak on just a couple of things. And I think those are things that were in the auspices of the EPA anyways, when they're the ones hosting the meeting. It was mentioned that, certain archaeological considerations were pondered in this process. And we often forget that we're part of history, and hence we yield anthropological artifacts ourselves. Burying PCBs in submarine vessels where they can never be biologically remediated seems an extremely negative archaeological vestige for the future to discover later on, and will certainly say something about the society that left it. I find it very ironic, paradoxical, hypocritical even, to be asked to accept permanent contaminations by PCBs to foster a green future. The funding, the EPA said they said they weren't providing any funding for the project. The state doesn't know where the funding's coming from. And AVX Corporation is the responsible party for everything that they did. So this is the state's making a commitment with unknown funding, and I certainly don't think the investors should have to pay the brunt of this. I'm sure they could have some tax things if they were, but they don't seem to be involved with this until after it's already built. So I wouldn't ask Cape Wind or any wind developer to have to process in any way. But I think the government should really step up here, through deficit spending or whatever they need to do, pay for immediate and complete cleanup, by hauling it away to a TSCA-approved site, for less than the cost of just 1 week in Afghanistan, which perpetuates an endless war on oil. We could do it. It's $2 billion a week for Afghanistan, and that's less money than the short-term plan of the original plan. So I think the government, the U.S. government, ought to step up this project. They want to make Cape Wind it's a federal interest, it's a national interest. The government should say, we're going to clean it up right, we're going to clean it up the way the community wants it, and we're just going to spend deficit. We're going to pay everybody to get it done right, and we're going to move forward from there. We'll figure out who to build later on, but let's get it done right. Let's not bury PCBs subterraneously, where they could pop up at any time, but they can't be bioremediated. PCBs can be remediated through various technologies that are constantly improving. But if you bury them, you're increasing the cost, you're gonna have to pull it up later. So that's what I think you ought to do. I don't think you should hold up what needs to be done on the harbor side, up against the dock. There's certain things that can be done. You can tweak what's gonna be done in front of what to make it happen. But I think the cat cell aspect of this should be abandoned, and it should be hauled away to Michigan or wherever the TSCA facility is. Thank you.